Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new around here. My name is Vicky and I've finally been blessed with 5 minutes to sit down and film a video. So I asked over on Instagram for some questions for a Q&A because I thought I've had quite a lot of new subscribers recently, so I thought it might be fun to just do a kind of Q&A and for you guys to kind of get to know me a little bit more. I will happily do more of these in the future. If you have any other questions, just leave them in the description box of this video. But without further ado, let's go into the Instagram questions. So there's going to be no rhyme or reason to these questions. I've literally just screenshot them and I'm just going to reel them off kind of in the order that I have them. So the first one is top baby names for a boy. So what mine and my husband's would have been probably completely different, and my husband's family will hate me for saying this, but the top name I had for a boy, which like I say probably wouldn't have been allowed, was Enrico. So Enrico is my husband's granddad's name on his like Italian side, so I really liked that name. Obviously it goes with our surname, which is an Italian surname, and I don't know, I just really liked the name because I liked that you could shorten it to Rico and it would just be really cute. Like, to me it just seemed really cute, but yeah, his dad's side of the family were just like, no, don't use that name, like we don't like, or we didn't it's not that they didn't like him, but I don't know. I'm not obviously going to go into family politics in this video, but they probably wouldn't have liked it. I don't actually know what my husband's top choice would have been, but mine would have been that. Second question is, how are you doing? I actually had quite a few questions just like asking how I was, and to be honest with you, I'm not too bad. It's 2:30 on a Wednesday afternoon. No, it's not even Wednesday, is it? It's a Tuesday afternoon. I've got a cup of tea in my ultimate mum hack thermos, and my child is asleep. I mean, I'm doing quite well today. This is quite a rare occasion, and yeah, I mean, overall I feel like I'm doing quite well at the moment. I've had a hard few months to say the least, but I finally feel like I can see the wood for the trees. Is that even the saying? I don't know, but I finally feel like I can see like the light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, I'm not doing too bad, thank you for asking. Next question. Okay, I'm gonna skip that one because I can't think off the top of my head. So the next one would be, do you want more children? Again, I think I had a couple of people ask this, and I'm very much in two minds. If you follow me on Instagram over the last kind of 8 months since I've had my daughter, then you'll have seen me probably say a few times that I point blank didn't want any more children. Me and my husband both always wanted 2 children, but when we were blessed with Sophia, we'd both pretty swiftly made the decision that we didn't want any more, because it has been just beyond challenging, like way harder than we ever thought it would be. Obviously, like, Soph hasn't been a particularly easy baby or anything. She has been quite challenging, and we've had like multiple issues with her, like with feeding because she was tongue-tied, with reflux and colic and like everything a baby can have. Like, she just had everything, and it was hard work. It still is hard work now when she's 8 months old, or 8.5 months old, but I personally feel like I do want another one, and I don't know if that is almost for selfish reasons, in that I feel like we missed out on quite a lot of things when we had Soph, like even down to little things like I didn't have a baby shower, we didn't get to have a newborn photo shoot, like, you know, all of these little things, and like all of our family meeting her when she was tiny, like we didn't get any of that, and I feel like we missed out. and it seems stupid to have another one just to have those moments, and I don't just want another one for those moments. I don't, because I've never really wanted an only child. Like, if the possibility was there to have another child, like, obviously I know like it might never happen, but if, you know, if we were to have another one, I would, you know, be very happy. Whether my husband would agree and allow that to happen is another story. So yeah, I mean, watch this space, who knows. I'm very much now, I was very much, no, it's never gonna happen, never having any more children, like, I'm done. And now I'm never say never. I'm not 100% sure, but never say never. So I'll leave you with that. Next one is favourite and least favourite thing about being a mum. My least favourite thing, and I don't know if that's just because of my personality type, and obviously I knew this would be the case, but like, I have one of those personalities that kind of thrives off routine and structure and things like that, and obviously I knew having a baby, like, that was gonna fucking go out the window. But I think that's probably been the hardest thing for me personally to adapt to. Like I say, I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't realise quite how hard it would be. And I think the main thing that obviously that we've struggled with, that kind of relates to that, is like with sleep, and I mean day sleep rather than night sleep. Because I don't know, I just had in my head that babies, when they were tired, they just went to sleep, like wherever they were, in the pram, the car, the living room, whatever, they would just go to sleep. I didn't realise how much a child could fight sleep, like, oh my god. And yeah, it's caused so many like issues in us not being able to go places and do things, or like even go to a doctor's appointment, or, you know, anything like that, go to a baby group even. And I think I found that probably the hardest and my least favourite thing. Everything else I felt like I've dealt with quite well. So yeah, I think that, and just the kind of the horrible things that you go through, like the colic and reflux and all of those things, they have not been the one. And in terms of my favourite thing is just, and again, I think this kind of sounds a little bit sad almost, but my favourite thing, I think, is like having that dependence on me, like feeling like I'm needed. It really does sound sad saying it out loud, but it probably is my favourite thing. Like, there is someone that relies on me every day to clean them, to feed them, to clothe them, like to help them get to sleep, like everything. They depend on me for that. And it just feels so nice, because I'm not gonna lie, I felt pretty worthless for the last, I don't even know how long, years. So to get that feeling is really nice. What advice would you tell yourself before you had Soph? I think you're amazing, by the way. Thank you. What piece of advice? I don't know if I really have any advice, because as everyone likes to tell you, every baby is different. So I feel like if I'd have told myself something before I'd have had her, it wouldn't have been applicable, if that even makes any sense. But I guess the most kind of almost generic-y piece of advice to have given myself would be to like cut myself some slack and to try and relax a bit more. Like I say, it's quite hard with my personality type, like liking structure and routine and things like that, to relax and just kind of go with things. That has been extremely hard for me to do, but I think you kind of have to. When you have a baby, all of those things naturally go out the window, and you do kind of have to find your new normal when you have a baby. And yeah, that's probably what I would tell myself, is just to kind of go with the flow a bit more and try and relax and just take the rough with the smooth, really. And next one is, how do you deal with being touched out and having a partner who has needs? I'm struggling here. So, being touched out is like the worst feeling in the world, and I feel like most mums will get what that actually means, to feel touched out. I've spoken to quite a lot of people actually over the months, and some people haven't understood what I've meant by that, and I don't know if it is more a feeling you get when you're a breastfeeding mum or just have a particularly clingy baby, but it's basically like when you're literally, well, you're being touched out, like you literally have your child hanging off you, whether that be by your nipples or in a baby carrier or just like literally attached to you all day, whether they contact nap on you, you know, they breastfeed, you know, little and often, you know, all those things can just like really add up to, by the end of the day when they're in bed, and you just feel like you do not want to be touched because you feel like you've been touched so much by little hands that you just had enough. And to be honest, I feel like it was a lot more of a problem in the earlier days, when obviously I was breastfeeding like little and often, but I feel like since we've started weaning, that's become less of a prominent feeling in my life personally. In terms of how I dealt with it, I don't think I did, to be honest. I very much just said to my husband, please don't touch me, like I don't want you anywhere near me, which obviously is a hard thing to kind of go through as a couple, and I don't feel like there's any piece of advice I can really give someone for going through that. It's shit, but the only thing I can say is it won't last forever. There will be a point in your life where you feel free, and I feel like personally I'm at that stage now. I'm 8.5 months in, so I feel like, yeah, I feel like we're finally getting to the point where I feel much less touched out. Sorry if that doesn't really like answer your question in terms of like advice and stuff, but yeah, my husband had strong needs too. They just weren't met for a while. Fuck him. Literally. And next question from the same person is, are you eager to get back to work? The short of it is yes. The reality of it is I don't think I'll be able to. I think I had another question about work actually. Where is it? Do you miss working? So I'll answer those both at the same time. Yes, I do miss working, and yes, I am quite eager to get back to work for the mental break, I think, more than anything. I just feel like I need to do something else, hence why I've started making videos again, because I just feel like I need some focus in my day. I don't want to spend every nap just sat on the sofa anticipating her waking up. I want to do something with my time. I want to challenge myself. I want to just, I don't know, like, I don't really know what I'm trying to get at, but I feel like you guys will probably know what I mean by that. And yeah, so I am eager to get back to work in terms of what I was doing before I had a baby, but I don't think that specifically would be possible anymore. Hence, like I say, hence why I've kind of started making videos again, and things like that. So yeah, but watch this space, who knows, I could go back to work in like a month's time. I really don't know, but I would like to if I had the opportunity. Another question is, how are you and Soph? How is Soph now she's sleeping better? So I touched on like how I was earlier on, and Soph, she's doing okay. She, like I say, she is sleeping better than she was. It's still hit and miss, don't get me wrong, but she's sleeping better than she was, and it hasn't particularly changed her behaviour. in terms of things I have kind of touched on with her on like Instagram stuff, which if you don't already follow me on Instagram, because that's where I spill all of the tea. But yeah, in terms of her behaviour, it hasn't really changed that much, but I do feel like she's getting like less periods where she's like overtired and stuff, so in that respect she's much better, and she's like kind of grown out of like the refluxing colicky stage, which is nice. But yes. Next question is, if you'd be comfortable sharing, I would love to hear about your TTC journey. I love your channel. Thank you so much. I probably would be comfortable sharing it, but I don't know if my husband would be. So watch this space on that. I'm not sure. Obviously I did a live pregnancy test, and my 2-week weight video, which if you haven't already seen, I will link them down below, and in a card, but I'm not 100% sure whether I will do like a dedicated video on it. Next question is, so this one is military related, and it is, where would you like your next posting to be? So in terms of postings, I sound selfish, but I would like them to be closer to my family home. So I'm from Southampton originally, so down in the south coast, so ideally I'd like him to be posted somewhere closer to there. Obviously I know that's not always the case, like we might get sent to like Lossie or something up in Scotland. Obviously they have preferences and stuff, and he has got 2 of them down as one's a lot closer to where I'm from, but I don't think there's anywhere specific we'd like to go. We both said we'd like to go to Akrotiri, which is in Cyprus, but I think we've both kind of written off that idea now. I think we said we'd like to go when we had like a young family, and I think by the time the position came up there again for his trade, Soph would be at an age where we didn't really want to be there anymore, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I think that's kind of gone out the window. That's the only one that we'd like to have done. We have spoken about Gibraltar as well, so in Spain, similar sorts of things as to why we wouldn't, just because of the age of children by the time that opportunity would kind of come up. But yeah, other than that, like in the UK, there isn't anywhere specific that I think I'd like to go, and I think he very much feels the same. I feel like there's places I wouldn't go or I wouldn't like to be posted to, but yeah, I'll save that for another day. So next question is, how did you meet your husband? So we actually met online back way before Tinder, back in the MSN days. So we actually met on Facebook, when Facebook was actually pretty new, I think. There was an app on there called Social Me. If any of you guys actually know that app that I'm on about, let me know in the comments down below, because when we've spoken about it in the past to people who have asked how we've met, they honestly cannot remember it. So if any of you guys do let me know. But yeah, we basically met on there and swapped email addresses and started talking on MSN for, I think it was probably about 3 or 4 years before we actually met up in person, because we're from 2 completely different places. So yeah, that's how we met. So next question is, did you use reusable nappies in the end, and how have you found them? So I would like to do a separate video on this, so again, if you'd like to see that, please do let me know down below. But yes, I did use them. I used them kind of part-time. I definitely didn't fully go into it. I don't think I did a full day at all. And there was various reasons as to why. Like I say, I'll do a separate video on it if you'd like to see that, but it is something that I would like to try again, maybe in another month or so's time, but we will see. But how I found them, I found that they were okay, and I feel like I could adapt to them being in our lives. But like I say, there was just a few things at the time when I was testing them that just didn't fit in with our family. So I have 2 more questions that were kind of like military related, and they've literally just come in on Instagram now, so I just thought I'd answer them real quick. And the first one is, if you were given the option for your husband to leave the military, would you take it? Honest answer is probably not, just because I don't want this to sound like it's anything to do with me, because it's not, but it is security at the end of the day for us as a family. So I feel like, as much as there are downsides to it, to the military life, I feel like for now it very much works for us, and it helps us during this kind of period where, you know, we've got a new baby, I'm not working, and things like that. I feel like it would be kind of stupid for him to leave now, as much as I feel like my answer might change next year when he's obviously deployed and our daughter's growing up and he's not seeing it. Like I say, my answer might change then, but I feel like if you were to ask me that right now, or if you were to say to him, look, like, you can leave, you don't have to give your notice, like, you can just leave now, I would say we would probably make an executive decision for him not to, and to stay in. Yeah. And then the other question that was military related is, what's your current location like to live in? We're looking at married quarters and options. So I think, Kaylee, you know where I actually live. I'm not going to go into specifics in this video because I feel like it would be too obvious to find out where we actually live, and obviously I don't want to give that kind of information out for our security. But if you do know where we live, please move in. I personally find it's really nice. Like, there's such a nice mixture of like military and civvy, that it doesn't feel like what you would typically expect a military patch to be like. Yeah, I personally really like it. I think there's really good links to like loads of cities around the UK. I feel like nowhere's really too far away from here. It's quite a central point. And yeah, if you're looking into it, I would seriously just do it. Like, I know you guys are unaccompanied at the moment and it must be really, really hard. I can't imagine how hard it must be. So I think if you could be somewhere like where I am, then go for it, absolutely. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. I know that was a bit cryptic of an answer, but if you obviously have any other questions, just DM me. But yeah. So the last question is the only juicy one that I actually got. I said you guys could be juicy, you could ask whatever the hell you liked, but I only got one, and that is, what is the sex life like, or lack of, post-baby, just keeping the relationship alive. So to be honest, it hasn't been that bad. Obviously for the first few months where Soph was in our bedroom, it was a bit more all over the place, and it's those moments like when the baby's down for a nap and you're like, you know, I kind of fancy you in this moment right now, but at the same time, like, I have 5 million loads of laundry to do and I haven't brushed my teeth in 3 weeks and I need a shit in peace. So yeah, those first few months, between all of that and feeling really touched out, it was non-existent, let's be honest. But now I'd say it's pretty healthy, back to normal, very much so. Probably, in fact, better than it was. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. Sorry for the TMI. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please do let me know down below if there's any other questions you may have for me to do like a part 2, and if you want to see any specific videos like the reusable nappies one and stuff like that, again, do let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.